So the residents of a Minneapolis suburb have learned that a level 3 sex offender has moved into their neighborhood now. And there was a meeting held at a church in this suburb where people were indeed notified about this individual's presence in their neighborhood. And of course, this always brings up the discussion on whether or not these people who have sexually abused children, or and I'm not 100% sure where level 3 comes in, if it's just children, or if it's rape in general, or whatnot. But nonetheless, the question that's been bandied about is if these people are deemed that it's so important that we inform the public of their presence, why are they being released into the back into the public again? And I struggle with this a little bit because I've had issues myself back when I was a child, and have run into these type of perpetrators, and it is something that definitely can scar a person for life. I make no excuses whatsoever for the individuals that are convicted of this crime and have to go through what they have to go through. Matter of fact, I have a friend who is a registered sex offender back out on the East Coast, and he's, to this day, I mean, there were restrictions in his life, and this is an offense that he committed, almost, if my timing is right, well over 20 years ago. So I mean, these people's lives are definitely changed forever. The question is if what they have done is indeed so bad, why are they released out to the public? Well, I think that while the sexually abusing somebody and ruining or scarring their lives, especially a child, is could very arguably be just as bad an offense as murder, in my opinion. And there is a good argument for these people to be put up for life. Whereas murder is usually a crime of passion, individuals who are sexual offenders or predators or whatnot, there's usually something in their genetic makeup that makes them prone or predisposed to committing such an act. Having said that, our current laws do not allow or do not give for sex crimes or people who commit sex crimes to be locked up for life. They are given, they are put on parole, and they are put on certain restrictions, and they are required to register. And the big thing is that where these individuals, I honestly think, to tell you the truth, that a sexual offender, it's more of a punishment for them to be put back out into society with the restrictions that they have. I mean, these people these days, with the notification rules and what have you, they are watched like hawks. I mean, and now their name and their image and their profile and everything about them is put out there for the public to see. And I mean, it's tough. I mean, they can't get a regular job. I mean, they're lucky if they're going to be able to wash dishes someplace. You know, the community in general is looking at these individuals as the parasites that, quite frankly, they are. And to tell you the truth, I think that it is a much more fitting punishment to put them back into the public with that type of scrutiny and that kind of and those kind of restrictions. And the best part about it is we as taxpayers don't have to pay to house them. We don't have to feed them. We don't have to pay for their medical care. So I think that the notification system, it's working. Does it work 100% of the time? You know, probably not. I mean, there was an instance where an offender was let back into the community here. Matter of fact, not too long ago, and he wound up raping a 16-year-old boy. Yeah, well, now the second time around, it's obvious that you know, this sick puppy is going to wind up doing some, you know, serious time. Another thing to look at, another option to look at, is that it's generally agreed that this is a sickness, and usually when you have a sickness, you treat the sickness. Now, with all the medications and all the things that are out there, could it, and I don't know, I don't know if there's even anything out there like this, but wouldn't it be possible to somehow alter and I'm not talking about castration or anything like that, but couldn't there be a drug that could be administered to somehow curb an individual's sexual aggressiveness, if you will? It's just a thought. I mean, there would be one, you know, obviously if you're not having those churning feelings inside of you to do this, you know, if it's something that can be medically altered, then by all means, it might be such a thing is that you might not be able to have a normal sex life for the rest of your life. Well, you know, if you go out and abuse a child, well, you know, you get what you get, and maybe that would be one of the answers. This is a situation where there's probably more questions than answers or solutions, but I think that what they're doing is as prudent as you can possibly be. I guess. I mean, well, you know, it's still a fairly new system, and we'll have to have to see what it plays out. But I think that it's up to the public to pay attention to these notifications too. I mean, you don't, you know, if a level 3 sexual offender has been, you know, released or is in your neighborhood, and you know where he lives, no, you're not going to let your children walk by his house. You're going to make sure that your kids are aware of this, and you make sure your kids stay away from that area. But it should be noted that there are, for every pervert that's out and about, out in the street, or that we're aware of, there are probably another 2, 3, 4 of them that we're unaware of. So it's just something to think of. It's not a perfect system, but like I said, I think that what they're doing is probably the best that with what they have to work with. That's all I have on this. Until the next time, this is John Shannon, the Redneck Cabbie. Adios.